Well, anyway, so I came up with the idea, and me and Joe have been friends for a long time. We grew up near each other. He played at Cal. I played at San Jose State. I knew him then, and then came to the Dolphins. And so I just said, hey, let's try to do something that's going to be entertaining. It's going to be funny, but it's going to deliver a message to people that are of our age. And so we did that, and I started working with Seth Levitt, who runs Jason Taylor's foundation. I know you guys know him. I think it seems like everyone in the podcast world knows Seth to some degree. And so we just started throwing names around, and I just came up with out to pasture. When you're old and then you can't do anything, they throw you out to pasture. So that's where we came up with that name, and it stuck. So yeah, we're doing pretty well. We feel like we're doing a good thing here, and we started out with Larry Csonka. You can't do any better than that. And he kind of hit the nail on the head when with his pod when he came on the podcast, talked about that. Guys that are my age, and I went through this with my heart thing. I was so lethargic. I couldn't get up off the chair and go exercise and stuff like that. And you got to force yourself to it. But so that's kind of the crux of how it started, how we got the name, and so now we've had Zonk, we had Stan Van Gundy, we had Johnny Bench, OJ McDuffie. We're going to do Dave Barry's dropping this next week. The writer, he was an author and has been in 500 publications across the country. A very good guy. Then Joe Theismann's coming up after him.
I was going to ask about Joe. I was going to ask if you were going to have on Joe.
Hey, Joe. So Joe's coming up.
Lots to talk about there.
That'll be pretty good. And then we got David Shula coming up to talk a little bit about his old man and stuff. So we think we got some pretty good people there, and we got a lot more coming up. We're trying not to be sports oriented. We're trying to get kind of all the different aspects of growing old and trying to deal with aging.